It's from Chandrasekhar Bupalapati, that's right?
Yes.
Almost?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, the role of big data in creating sense, HBR. So,
Welcome. This is Chandrasekhar Bupalapati. Again, thanks to the team that developed this paper from the company called Hanumayamma Innovations and Technologies. They have a healthcare product which is electronic health record, Sanjeevani EHR. The paper talks about the inclusion of wearable technologies, especially streaming-based wearable technologies, into electronic health record, and how we can use electronic health records to generate and optimize a real data insights for the users and patients. That's where the presentation is today. As I said, health is very important. Health is very vital, given where we are, what we need to. Now, this is the recent report that is provided by the research firms that the provision of or the rapid increase of chronic diseases, even young to young kids and middle-aged youth. Now, if you see it right, as per the report, if you see the red line within the USA, the chronic diseases from 1970 through 2010, the growth rate is almost from 857 million in 1980 to that of in 2014, it's almost in the terms of number of billions. This is 2.1 billion, and the Lancet report that predicts. One, healthcare providers across the world, they wanted more information about the patient, about the individuals like you and me, to overcome or to identify or to full fix the problems of this rapid increase in disease provision. So that's where sensible EHR comes very handy. Now, another same use case, the other problem this paper discusses and tries to address is more specifically with respect to the clinical settings. Like, for example, right, within the US or within any community, as long as you are within the hospital settings, you're good to go. All the medical facilities are available for you. A patient from in-house to outpatient, as he walks in, or he or she walks in, automatically, what the research paper is most of the gains that we gain in a clinical setting is lost as soon as the patient steps out. So our paper, what addresses is how can we enable a remote patient monitoring so that whatever the in-house office settings and clinical settings could be leveraged using wearable technologies to the outpatient. Here is the most recent report from a Gartner report. Again, Gartner identifies using a remote monitoring, it enables an active and more proactive healthcare solution, healthcare development, or cost-effective way of monitoring the patients. And that's the report predicts. Now, if you take the monitoring of the patients, right, these are the advantages from the healthcare point of view. These are the advantages from the patient's point of view. Now, if you observe, right, from the healthcare provider's point of view, a lot of less paperwork if you monitor the patients, either through technology or through variable technology or some other mechanism using big data for provisions. And coming to the patient's level, the patient satisfaction levels were very high if you try to address or try to provide a variable technology that can monitor the patients. Now, see the stark differences. As you use the technology, right, the patient customer satisfaction is increasing very much. Now, this is the classical Intel, the chart for quality of life versus cost of care. Now, if you observe, right, as a cost of care versus the quality of life, the most people, what we wanted is definitely the cost of care to be lower and quality of life to be very high. The first quadrant of equation. Again, if you see it, right, proactive health and wellness program, that is where big data, variable technology, mobile technology, all coming into play to provide this quadrant to the people that you and I generally we see as part of the ecosystem. No, needless to mention, this is the Gartner Magic Quadrant. Again, Gartner provides the technology as well as the implication of technology to the real market needs. As you observe, right, this report 2014, it talks about mobile health pattern, mobile health monitoring, and the top of the curve, there are things. Again, combine the technology to the patient needs using wearable technology. That's where the magic result will take place. Right? What solution providers, what healthcare providers want? One is that's where this company, Hanumayamma Innovation Technologies, are delivering. They are combining the integrating the patient mobile, which is the mobile technologies that we carry, and they combining patient mobile devices, capturing the sensor data on the patient mobile devices, and trying to use that data into the electronic health records, combine the electronic health records to the patient activity that gives more information to the patients, more information to the healthcare providers, and more information to the clinical providers, by thus improving the quality metrics across the board. Again, needless to mention, this is a bug insight report. Again, going back to observation, right? Applying the mobile technologies to the patient needs generally generates a huge savings for the healthcare settings, and the cost of the settings is, the savings will be around 41.7 billion US dollars for annual basis. It's a huge number. And this is the provision of mobile technologies observed in 2013 versus 2017 and 18. The number of mobile devices shipped and connected home devices connecting the patient to the healthcare settings are rapidly increasing. This is where what we wanted to do is we want to combine these latest technologies with the big data and then solve the emergent needs that we are looking at. So as this paper discusses more about the sensors that is available in any mobile phone, the so-called smartphone, started from the Android 4 point to the latest version, almost all the sensors are available which can generate the data and connect to the patient data to improve a qualitative as well as life satisfaction factors. Same goes to iOS platform. In the iOS platform, if you see this quadrant, right, very, very simple sensors like environmental sensors and activity sensors. Those are the sensors that are needed to improve the overall settings across the board. Now, this is where the paper more discusses about sensor data with machine learning. What I mean by that is today morning panel discussed about IoT with respect to wearable technologies. Again, if you observe the wearable technology track, each wearable device or wearable technology provides a particular solution that we can introduce as part of your electronic health record itself. And the results are amazingly good, which I will show you just in a minute. Again, this is classical sensor body. Again, this is some of the devices you may be using, some of them are commercially available. Now, what is this diagram shows is, now we can get more information from you and me. As an individual, we are generating so much data. This data, if you combine with your healthcare records, the magic solution comes into out. Okay, let's go one by one. So this is the platform that we are looking at. Again, this is our healthcare analytics platform. At the bottom of level, we have seen number of sensors, more towards healthcare sensors. That includes wearables, that includes sensors, that includes geographical data, that includes environmental data, and feed that into streaming process and getting into the machine learning, where we actually, as a company, we US patented a couple of streaming analytics, which generates a huge recommendation systems, plus provides analytics to their patients. And at the core, right, this is what algorithms that we are using. At supervised level, right, we have a family history we take into account, along with the WHO data. Several factors of WHO data that includes demographics, location, the environmental factors, that includes how much dust at particular location, plus electronic health record data, and combining that with the demographics as well as the patient food process data that generates a solution for it. Plus, along with that, we also use a CMS clinical quality metrics. At the last step, this is what the solution would look like as devices are generating the data. They are processed at the edge level and immediately applied to the cloud. In the cloud, as I discussed, healthcare analytics platform that process this healthcare data and try to arrange based on the Kafka bus and try to process each data byte by byte and provides the insights and sends a notification to the patient caregivers, and patient's primary care provider. I will come back to this as a sequence of steps given the time we have. And for this we recommend a very standard IoT platform model, reference model. Now here's a case study. Case study talks about a product that we have already in the market, which is called Sanjeevani Electronic Health Records, which are prevalently used, especially in India. It's a first India's cloud-based EHR. We are trying to get the data and feed the analytics on top of it. And as you may know, eHealth will provide many data points from the patient's point of view. It provides the dynamic patient trends. It also provides a holistic view of where the patient is health-wise. It has the patient's simple health as well as patient's information, other information such as number of clinical settings they went to. Plus, it also contains allergies and other information. So, if time permits, I want to play this video, 2 minutes one. I don't cover complete, but very high level. One picture of it. Again, this is a company is really working to capture the healthcare data in real practice. What we preach, we practice at the time. This is a recent data. So to answer you, right, how come we are showing those videos? See, where the solution coming into play for us was, we need, as I said, right, the data is gold. If you have a data, you can do something with it. What we are doing is we are capturing this data proactively. That is, we are introducing this concept and getting the patients come to these health clinics, capturing with their consent, capturing what is their current trend of the data, and try to provide something very high level population health analytics, which is a patented, and also we patented this product in India, which will provide based on your mobile phone, we can identify a particular region, what is the pressure level of the population, what is the stress level of the population, and this data will be used both by governments, NGOs, and public and private institutions, either to rectify or improve overall health settings. That's where we are looking at it as a product. Again, this is what we found, and what the conclusions really speaks about is, if you have a patient data, if you capture the patient data on a periodic basis, the most important one is it yields, the report again concludes very strongly, around $36 billion of worth of savings to healthcare every year in US itself. Now think about the entire world, and 25% reduction in number of bed days because of monitoring of the patients. All you need is a mobile phone to improve these numbers. Finally, 20% reduction in hospital admission because of your mobile phones. So mobile phones not only provides a great connectivity, they are also healthcare pills if you apply exact healthcare solution with your mobile technologies to patient population. And the results are amazingly great. So again, finally, I want to conclude this. This is a McKinsey report, a very great report. Companies must develop a range of big data products for healthcare. And if you see the value prop, right, from the business value to technology complexity, the base starts with the number 11. If you see the number 11, a personal health record. If you don't have a data, there is no data, there is value that can be created in the market. That's what I would like to conclude. And healthy data, healthy population, you have great societies to build upon. Where we want to take next, once we saw the gold mine, right? Now the time to dig it and get more gold out of it. The next is inclusion of healthcare data to augmented reality, especially, right? If you wanted to talk to remote patients who don't have a specialty providers, you connect them either to augmented reality or to virtual reality so that you can use mobile phones as a clinical equipment to deliver the solutions where people need the most. That is where we are working as a next generation EHR for our product. Any questions?
Questions?
Yes.
Thank you for the nice talk. If you have, for example, the data that's already available, the medical records that's already available, and the data that you are just collecting so that you analyze it, do you think that an actual data which is already available,
right,
although the legal issues for
right,
obtaining them would have give you better results and
That's a great question, dude. Any data, any good data is a gold mine. Say, for example, right, as I said, we have a machine learning for a supervised models. What we did was we took the data from a couple of good universities, and those data, human trends are same across your demographic, body weight, social life, personal life, which related to what kind of a diseases, right? We took those data patterns and we created data models. So if you have a good data, and then the provision of solution is much quicker, I would say. So to answer you, yes, good data will lead to good business models, which leads to good data models, which leads to great outcome for the patients across the board. Answers?
More questions? No?
Thank you.
So, we thank again all the speakers of the session.
Thank you.
And so that pretty much concluded the scientific program of this conference, right? There will be some coffee, I think, in the other room in JCR. And also, I read something about closing, doesn't know what that means. It stands closing and coffee.
In the coffee, I think we just say this is closing.